everyone, David Olner guy here. I came across this thing. Let's check it out. Welcome to Tag. The full name of this thing is the Mech High Intensity RC Blaster from the company New Bright. New Bright is known for, let's say, economical radio control vehicle. Like it's a small brand. They have their market really for RC vehicle, and this one, it's a blaster. Like I came across it a couple of times. Original MSRP when it came out was about $100 Canadian. It dropped out to about 80, but since still $80 Canadian for this thing. I was not sure, and I came across it at the incredible price of like $18. So I just grabbed it. Here it is. This thing, like honestly, I grabbed it for like 3 reasons. First thing first, it's a flywheel blaster, basically. Like the turret on it is a flywheel blaster. The battery was included, like a lithium battery with the charger included, plus 2 AA's. We can see through the packaging, and this mention behind the box, telling me that it's compatible with all Adventure Force Tactical Strike and Nerf rifles, using the Nerf rifle and the Adventure Force Tactical Strike name on their box. So that kind of sold me this thing. Let's open it, see what's inside, and then we'll check the thing. So what we got in the box is some instruction, the battery charger with the batteries plus the alkaline for the controller itself, the tank RC Blaster, the Mech RC Blaster, and 32 of what look like the cheapest round ever. So first feeling, I took the battery, I gave it a charge just to be sure it was okay with it. It was fully charged and got plenty of power. First impression, the plastic. It's a little rubbery, a little like those plastic receptacle you use to put food in it, maybe, or it's soft, it's flexy, it's rubbery like, and in some other point it sound brittle, sound very very thin, a little cheap, but yeah, on the cheap side. The tracks look a little loose but fairly good quality. Overall, blaster is weird. There's like no up in that thing. No up whatsoever. Or maybe a little tab at the end, but it's too far off the barrel. Horizontal flywheel cage, which I prefer. Round. This does look like a drum. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I doubt there is 32 round fitting in that thing. Meaning they gave us the double the round for money. Assuming the $80 MSRP of this thing originally, it's a good thing they put 32 of those cheap round. I'm gonna show them to you. They are something else, but yeah, okay. About 18 round. There's no 16 round. Yeah, there's 2 rounds a hole. And this thing fits like that. Okay. Wheelie bar or handle. I guess it's not a handle. Or maybe, but maybe not swing it too much. This look thin. I think it's a wheelie bar for if it shoot, not going backward. Overall look good. One thing I read in the instruction, this is manually adjustable. So basically you cannot adjust it with the controller. This is like kind of a disappointment, and the turret doesn't turn. So it doesn't turn, it doesn't live vertically. it's standing there. So basically you got a flywheel blaster with wheels or treads that goes forward and don't allow you to aim wherever you want. Okay, there is a little laser pointer, but we'll check the accuracy a little later on that thing. Because yeah, okay, it feels cheap. It doesn't feel like the $80 they were originally asking for it. It feels pretty good for the money I spent on it. But, okay. But the important thing will be to see how this thing fired. And I don't want to fire the included round with them. I'm going to talk about them like right now. Let's put that on the ground. Those rounds. I'm going to compare them because they're like a negative picture of the Nerf rival round. You see, a Nerf rival round is like a golf ball. It's a ball with dimples in it. And they went the opposite way. This is a pimple ball. Because every little dot is coming out of the round. And they are so cheap that a lot of them are missing a lot of the little dots because of the molding. Plus the seams on those round. Like I would have to take a cutter knife and remove the seam before I use them. I think I'm going to use them as a benchmark for bad round. I was hoping to find the worst round I could find to make a good round compare video, and I think I just found them. That kind of scares me for the whole blaster experience on that Mech RC Blaster. Huh. Let's try to load that thing up. See how that goes. So I'm supposed to take this thing and it doesn't fit. Oh, okay. Need to just push it through. So there's no spring or follower in the magazine. So I guess it's gravity fed. And that thing must rotate and drop ball in. So depending on what speed it can rotate, we're going to have a very high rate of fire. Or hopefully not too low rate of fire. Like, I didn't see any rev switch on the controller. I didn't see any weapon activation anywhere. I'm hoping the flywheel are not raving all the time this time is rolling, because this thing is going to be loud as heck. Okay, so we insert that in there. Okay, that's the thing. Since it's a blaster, you're going to take the controller. I'm going to try firing a few rounds just to... Is it on? Yes, it is. Oh, and there's a delay. Okay, so... Okay, this is just a fire trigger. That means it revs, and at the same time there must be a gear somewhere or another motor that rotates this cradle like kind of slowly, but still it's very loud. This feel unbalanced, and I think they are like two-part flywheels. That's why it's so loud. But this thing rotates and drop the rounds one by one. It's not a high rate of fire, like you could see. It's 2 seconds a round, if it's already raving. Otherwise, you have to count the 1 second delay. Just check that out. I'm going to press 1, 2, 3, go. And you see, since the round was coming near, I was not pressing it, and it kicks out the rev so it doesn't jam. So there's like a jam prevent on the thing. It's like weird behavior. But there's a second and something delay between the time I press and it starts firing. And when it starts firing, this is slow. Like I'm sure changing a gear somewhere will accelerate this rate of fire, but this is slow. And the fact that you can't, there's no button on it to just adjust this turret, which is basically the whole blaster. And that's one of the reasons I bought it. On a modder standpoint, this is a lot of beautiful and original parts for a build. This turret would be a crazy harm blaster if it could fire more quickly, because you don't have to rev the engine, you don't have to rev the motors inside, you just need to press one switch. So having like one switch on your glove and that thing on your arm with the rate of fire, let's say 100% faster, this thing would have some potential. And for those, this one works. Gonna try that thing to see how it rolls. Gonna try it to see how it fires, if it won't flip back. And then we're gonna check accuracy. But first thing first, I really need to check the velocity on this thing. I need to chronograph this thing. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Oh, like that. Okay, so that really feels like a blaster. Like this thing is on my arm. I got the trigger right here. So I got a blaster. You see? It's not a radio control vehicle anymore. This is really a blaster. So let's take the chronograph and fires a few rounds through it. I want to see okay, empty. That is not very promising. That thing got a 67.5 FPS average. I think it's only the battery, because this battery, yes, it's a lithium rechargeable battery pack, but it's only a 500 milliamp. I would like to have a 1000 in it just to see how much more power those would have. The fact that they are unbalanced and maybe they don't rev quick enough between rounds, because for the one that it revs faster, it's more like a 72, 76, still very, very low for a rival blaster. I mean, they claim 90 feet range on the box. I doubt it. With the barrel angle at the maximum, maybe. If I could put better motors in it and have it rev quicker, faster, and maybe rotate more, we would have better FPS. But yeah, low was 56, highest was 76, so there's no real performance out of it. But I'm pretty sure you can upgrade it, and just changing the battery might do something. For range, I don't know, we're gonna check accuracy, but let me remind you, there is no like up on this thing. This is raw flywheel power. That's it. I was expecting a lot more power out of a flywheeler. I mean, we got Elite Blaster with more power than that. The Ultra 2 was close to 100 FPS, and that is an incredible blaster with bad dart, but that's what happened when you go into too dark territories into blaster company. I mean, clearly New Bright is an RC company, they are not blaster company. They are lacking some features, like maybe good motors or a good battery. But let's check accuracy, because yeah, there is like a button to activate this small laser. Let's go try this out, and we'll have our final word on this thing. So, that new Bright Mech RC Blaster. Before I say anything that could be bad to it, let's say it's a cool toy. It's very operative. The fact that it comes with the battery, the charger, they double year round, so you don't really need to buy anything else than the packaging. It works right away. The battery is charged. It's not fully charged and it's losing charge like not really fast, but since you're driving both the flywheel motor and the tank itself, the vehicle itself, it will use battery even more. It's a lot of motor power being used inside. But other than that, quality of construction in some point is very satisfying, in some other is like this controller, like wow. I had to put one of my personal screw on the lid because it keep falling down. I had no other choice. I took a screw, I put it in. It's not even coming with the thing. But the whole packaging seems like a good deal. Maybe not at full retail price, but on sale, half price, or what I pay, like something like 75% off. That's a good deal. Now, from a nerf rival enthusiast standpoint, a blaster guy, I will say this is a little disappointing. I mean, the FPS reading is in the 70 if it's regular, and you're not like deciding how much it revs. So if I could have a control on the rev trigger and the fire trigger, would be amazing. I'm sure this would help the feeling of the tank. Velocity is a little low. For accuracy, there is a laser targeting help on it, which I pinpoint in the middle of the target. And as you saw in the fire test, it wasn't right. I had to slightly adjust, and I tried to adjust it with the manual controller. Little thing to note, I was at 11 feet about from the target, and a little less when I adjusted the fire. And it shoots higher than normal. I think it's because the hop-up tab is really far back the barrel. I'm sure we can tune it by either removing it completely, because there is hop-up inside. But it's misplaced and it's firing too high, weirdly, but it was easily adjusted. But you saw the rate of fire. It's not an automatic, and it's not really a semi-automatic. It's a fire when ready. Since the motor spin and then the carrier spin with all the rounding until it drop one. Even sometimes it skips around. It will come back later. You don't really have control, and it's like one round every 1.5 to 3 seconds, depending if you skip one or if you're revving fast enough. And if you go a little too far for a round and it's almost engaged, it will start revving back up again and firing. And there is no control whatsoever on the turret unless you do it manually, and that only control is vertical 4 position. I had to adjust it to the maximum angle for the firing test from the ground to the target, and the target was not that high. But overall, there is mod potential if you are using the part itself. I mean, there's a lithium battery, there is a flywheel cage, maybe not the most effective, but maybe changing the motor, putting a LiPo in, or if you're using the battery, just better motor might help it. And if we could have any kind of control on the rev, or making it rev faster and turn the carriage even faster, would have better rate of fire, therefore more interesting. But as is, I can't recommend this product, even less at full price. But if you're a modder, if you want an adventure, if you want just a cool toy, if you're a real like blaster enthusiast, this is a novelty. On sale, this is a grab. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna take it out a few times, and maybe when you're tired of it, you're just gonna take it apart and use it for integration mod or project, or just sell it to somebody who's gonna do exactly that. The only bad thing I could really say is the round included with that thing. I'm not even sure I want to use them in any blaster, and you're gonna see them in the future. I mean, they are worth speaking about them. I've seen bad round, those or something. That's about it for my review of this blaster. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at that old nerf guy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to stay informed on my new video. This was Dave Fatag. See you next time. Bye.